Good morning, friends and students. Today, with the help of this table, we are going to know the process of making WH word questions. In the last video, we have learned something about the process. Here, we are going to know how to transform a sentence, that is a statement, into an yes or no question type, an yes or no answer type question, or HW, H helping verb type question, and the WH word form of question. Here I have written all the 12 tenses and example sentences, statements for singular subjects as well as plural subject. Here, when already I have told you, when we want to make or prepare yes or no type question or WH word question, first of all we have to see this statement, and on the basis of the structure of yes or no type question, we have to transform that into this like this. For example, she writes exam. She writes exam. Does she write exam? It is the process of making yes or no type question. These type of helping verbs questions or yes or no type questions are framed with the help of auxiliary verbs. Here see the auxiliary verbs. These are divided primary auxiliary and modals. By using these modal verbs, we use or we frame these type of questions. See this. She writes the exam. Does she write the exam? It is the process. According to this structure, we have transformed a statement into WH helping verb question or yes or no type question. Here see, they earn money. Do they earn money? Do they earn money? And then see this. These are two simple present tense and present continuous tense. She is collecting funds. Here, helping verb. Helping verb is it is the process of making statements into yes or no type question. Is she collecting funds? I am eating a mango. Am I eating a mango? Like this, just replacing the subject and the helping verb, we frame these type of questions. And for these questions, here see, does she write the exam? Here I have written. On the basis of the meaning that it contains, then we use the right form of WH word. Here see these WH words. The who, whom, whose related to persons as a subject or objects or ownership or the position, which shows the place or which shows the choice or alternative. When we want to say, ask about the place, we use where, time, when, reason why. For in order to know the thing or matter, we use the WH word what. For how, we use how tells us the way, manner, form, or how much, how many, how often, how far, how old. These tell us the kind of activity, this kind of nature. When we want to know the particulars, like these particulars, in the situation, we use the WH word this accordingly. Here I have written all the 12 tenses by using the WH word, possible WH words, and then the right form of write WH words. Now we can apply this in the paragraphs. See how we identify the right answer or how we frame the right answer for the underlined parts in order to get answers the underlined parts. See, dear students, friends, here I have mentioned 4 paragraphs of different units. It is from the first unit of 10th class, second unit, third unit, and fourth unit. I have selected each from each unit a paragraph. Now we have to frame WH words in order to get the underlined parts of these passages or paragraphs. Underlined parts. In order to get these parts as answers, we have to frame WH word questions. Here see, his father stopped reading the paper. He lifted his head, looked at the boy and said with a heavy voice, "My son, you are a bright boy. You know our financial position. I have 5 daughters to be married off and 3 sons to educate. I am a salaried person. I cannot afford your expenses at IIT. You can stay in Mysore and study as much as you can." It is the paragraph. And here we have the underlined parts. Here, by knowing or by observing the remaining part of the sentences, not the underlined part, omitting the underlined part, but on the basis of the remaining part, we can frame WH questions. If there is no sufficient words, we go and we form or frame direct. Here, his father stopped. What did his father stop? His father stopped reading newspaper. Here, what did his father stop? And then here, a bright boy. He is a bright boy. Bright is an adjective. So it qualifies that boy noun. So what kind of boy is he? 5 numbers. Here we have 5 numbers. These, how many daughters does he have to marry off? And here it tells about some place. So that we have to use here the WH word where he can stay. Where does he can afford expenses? It is. And where can he stay? He can stay, you can stay in Mysore. So he can stay in Mysore. These are the questions. These are the questions that give underlying part of this page, paragraph as answers. And then come to the second paragraph. An old tiger ran through the rain looking for shelter. He was wet and cold, and his cave was far away. While hurrying to his shelter, he saw an old hut. With a sigh of relief, the tiger crawled under the thatched roof and lay down by the door. However, he heard something heavy being dragged inside the hut. Here, see. Shelter, the ran. What for? The tiger. What did the tiger looking for? For a shelter. How was he? How was he? How was he? He was wet and cold. And here, hurrying. In hurry, while hurrying, what did he see? He saw an older. What did he see? He saw an older. An old. How did he go into the thatched roof? How did he go into the thatched roof and lay down by the door? And however, he heard something heavy being. He heard. What did he hear? What did he hear? These are the five questions. Here I have it. What did the tiger looking for? How was he? What did he see? How did he go into the thatched roof? What did he? And here the another paragraph, it is from the third lesson. What is my name? Here see, I have written here also the answers. Frame WH questions to get the underlying parts as answers. See, one day while scrubbing the floor, the housewife suddenly asked herself, "What is my name?" The fairy shook her up, leaving the mopping cloth and the muggu basket there itself. He stood near the window, scratching her head, lost in thoughts. What is my name? What is my name? The house crossed the road, carried a name board, Mrs. M. Suhasini, MA, PhD, Principal, X College. Yes, she too had a name as her neighbor had. Yeah, did. How could I forget like that? In my scrubbing zeal, I have forgotten my name. What shall I do now? The housewife was perturbed. Here, these are the underlined parts. To get these underlined parts as answers, we put questions like this, which the WH word. What does she ask herself? She asked herself, what is my name? What did she leave there itself for? What she left? The mopping cloth and the muglu basket. Where did she stood scratching her head? Near the window. What did the name board to the house crossed the road contain? Mrs. Suhasini, MA, PhD, Principal, X College. How was she? How was the housewife? She was perturbed. These are the answers. In order to get these as answers, we have to put these WH word questions. And here is another passage. It is from the fourth unit. See this. Savitri was awarded the title Mahanati. Here the name. So who was awarded is the right WH word for this. The supreme artist. She also received the presidential award for her performance. What the award he received? What award did she receive for her performance in Chivaraku Migiledi? She was the recipient of Kalaimamani and Nadigara Tilakam from Tamil film industry. What titles are confirmed to Savitri by Tamil industry? Savitri had nearly 300 films to her credit. How many films did she have to her credit? Career was nearly 30 years long. She was equally admired by Telugu and Tamil lovers. She also acted in a few Kannada and Hindi films. She had a lion's share of films when she was at the zenith of her career. Here, how much long was her career? It was her career was nearly 30 years long. And here, what we have done is, we have framed WH questions to get these underlined part as answers. It is about some paragraphs and the making or preparing of WH word questions. See some more paragraphs. See these two paragraphs. It is from the 5th unit and it is from the 6th unit. Here some parts of their sentences are underlined. We have to frame WH word questions in order to get these underlined parts as answers. See here. It happened on April the 26th, 1986 year. It tells about the time. So I remember the date because it was my mother's birthday. Why did I remember? When it happened, or when did it happen? We get this answer. I remember the date because. Why did I remember? Because it was my mother's birthday. We heard the explosion early in the morning. When did we hear the explosion? Early in the morning. We didn't worry. Why we didn't worry? Why did not worry? Why did not they worry? Because there had been explosion before from Chernobyl. See, when did they hear the explosion? Why did they not hurry? But because there had been explosion before from Chernobyl, as there were many explosion, so they didn't hurry. But this was a bigger. Everyone stopped what they were doing. What did stop? Everyone. What did stop? What did everyone stop? They stopped what they were doing. Then we ran into the garden. We could see a cloud of what could we see? We could see a cloud of white smoke. From where? From the nuclear reactor. The name mentioned. What is the name of the person mentioned? Natasha Levenko. How did he feel? How did he wiped her hands with nervously? He wiped her hands nervously. And how did he sleep? He slowly. These are the WH word questions we have formed in order to get these underlined parts as answers. And this series. And it is 6th lesson law. India has a rich cultural heritage. We are inheritors of several grand treasures in the fields of music, fine arts, dance, drama, theatre, and sculpture. Our sages and our seers have left behind a tradition of penance, spiritual greatness, conquest of passion, etc. Our scriptures are the storehouses of spiritual wisdom. Our saints aspire to the realization of the infinite. We have inherited great spiritual values contrasted with the materialistic progress of the West appears insignificant. These are the questions I have framed. Here, which type of heritage? What do we do in heritage? And what have our sages and seers left? Our sages and seers left behind a tradition of that. And what do our scripts contain? They contain our scriptures are the storehouses, means contains the spiritual wisdom. And which aspects are significant when contrasted with the great spiritual values, the materialistic progress of the West? These are the questions. Once again, the process is here knowing or putting aside the underlying part, and then on the basis of remaining part. If there is no when the full or complete sentence is underlined, then we have to use the directly we frame or form the WH word questions. Here it is about the process of framing WH questions in order to get the given passages, underlying parts of the given passages. Okay. Thank you one and all.